starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger, here with your new Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, May 30th through Sunday, June 5th, 2022. For this week's Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews. I had to remember for a minute who that was. Animal Wise Tarot deck by Ted Andrews. That will be the main message for everyone, for the collective. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Magical Messages of the Fairies by Hay House. Just a reminder that this week brings us into a new month within 2022. It's June now, almost. And with that, we'll also have a new Empowered Moments video for the month of June, complete with a message from your angels and guides, of course, the astrological transits of significance, and the numerological vibration of the month and what that all means. So if you would like to watch that video, please go onto my YouTube channel and watch that monthly Empowered Moments video. So speaking of Empowered Moments, this week we have three main things astrologically that we're going to talk about. We have a new moon, we have two different planets shifting in two different directions. So let's start out our video today by tuning in and having an empowered moment. So if you just close your eyes, relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts, and just focus on the present moment, the here and now. Visualizing golden white light of God's source energy universe, great spirit, all that is, all around you. And let's take in a deep breath or two and breathe in that unconditional love and compassion, protection and guidance of that golden white light, breathing it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs, and allowing yourself to relax even more. And let's focus our attention on this new moon in Gemini this week, and the potential and possibilities for new beginnings, a new way of understanding, a new awareness, maybe new thought processes, new ideas, a new way of perceiving situations that you find yourself in. Let's breathe that deeply into every cell of our bodies, this new beginning. And focusing on Mercury turning back to direct motion and allowing this energy to bring us renewed clarity of direction. Let's breathe that into every cell of our body. And shifting our focus to Saturn, the wise teacher Saturn, turning to retrograde motion, and how this is going to turn his energies inward and allow us to find our own inner authority, finding our own inner authority, inner strength, and inner truth, so that as we gain clarity of thought and perception, we can move forward into these new beginnings that are being offered to us. One last deep, healing, cleansing, balancing breath. And as you exhale and you feel ready, you can open your eyes and come back to this present moment. And now we should start by letting you look at those stones of choice for that special message card a little bit later. Okay, so these are all new, brand new special intention pendants. I've just wrapped these stones within the last week, and they're up on my website now, along with a lot of other stones for your perusal. So the first of 3 stones that I'm going to show you is this beautiful malachite special intention pendant. You can see it's wrapped in gold wire. So the malachite wrapped in gold wire, I'm going to, I am going to Reiki charge it. They're not quite Reiki charged yet, but I've already got the intentions all mapped out. This is going to be Reiki charged with the vibration of the number 8, the number of abundance, prosperity, and empowerment. The energy of the planet Jupiter, ruler of expansion and blessings. The element of fire for inspiration and leadership, and the energy of Archangel Raziel, the Archangel of divine magic, alchemy, and manifestation. Okay. Oops, let's show you what that would look like here, so you can kind of get an idea of how large it is. Okay. And then the second stone of choice here, I've had these before in the past and they were really popular. It's unique because it's an amethyst cluster that's made into a special intention pendant. This one's wrapped in silver wire, and it's been Reiki charged with the energy of the number 9, the number of the humanitarian and creative and spiritual energy. Master number 11 is also Reiki infused into this one. Number of the light worker and the visionary. Qualities of the sign of Pisces for unconditional love, compassion, and spiritual connection to one's angels and guides. This one has the balancing of the crown chakra infused into it to open one up to higher wisdom and guidance. And I didn't realize this one also has Archangel Raziel's energy, the Archangel of alchemy and divine magic. Again, you can see that. That's how it would look around one's neck. And then the last special intention pendant. This one is smoky quartz, a smoky quartz point. And this one's been Reiki charged with the energy of Master number 22, the number of the Master Builder and Manifester, and power and protection on all planes. The energies of Pluto, planet of transformation and transmutation, of lower vibrational energies, the activation of the crown chakra and the root chakra. Crown chakra for opening up to higher universal energies and bringing them down through all of the other chakras to ground them into the 3rd dimensional earth plane. And the guidance and assistance of Archangel Michael for protection and to clear away lower energies. And this one's also infused with the energy of King Solomon for his powerful protection, divine magic, and space clearing. Okay. So again, those stones of choice are special intention malachite, special intention pendant amethyst cluster, and the special intention smoky quartz point. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrology for the week, and we kind of already gave it away when we did our meditation there in the beginning. We did our Empowered Moments meditation. So those are the 3 energies happening this week. On Monday, the 30th of May, the second to the last day of the month of May, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Gemini. This happens very early in the morning Eastern Time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday morning. So new moons are always about new beginnings. And what is the sign of Gemini about? Gemini is the ruler of the mental realm, thoughts, ideas, perceptions, intellect, messages, information, curiosity. So all of these energies and anything that deals with speaking, teaching, writing, all forms of communication, that mental realm of Gemini, all of those are indicated in new beginnings. And then we're going to skip all the way to Friday, the 3rd of June. On Friday, the 3rd of June, Mercury, the planet that normally rules Gemini, it's the planetary ruler of Gemini, and that's where our new moon was. Well, Mercury turns back to direct motion. And if you remember, he started out his retrograde motion at 4 degrees of Gemini, but he dipped back into Taurus. So on Friday, the 3rd of June, Mercury is direct at 26 degrees of Taurus. What I find interesting about that, for one, is that full moon lunar eclipse that we had on May 15th was at 26 degrees of Scorpio, the opposite sign. So that meant on May 15th, when we had that full moon lunar eclipse, the sun was at 26 degrees, 26, 27 degrees, or no, it was 25, sorry. It was to 25 degrees of Taurus, the sun. And of course, the moon was the opposite at 25 degrees of Scorpio. So here with Mercury turning back to direct motion at 26 degrees of Taurus, it's very close to the degree of that full moon lunar eclipse. So I think there's a connection there. What might that connection be? Well, Taurus and Scorpio deals with personal resources versus other people's resources, like money and finances and things to do with business matters, time, effort. Those are personal resources. Taurus and Scorpio also deals with values, my values versus the other people or other people's values. Taurus deals with what we find beautiful, which is why it's about what we value, right? It's what we value, our possessions, what we find beautiful, but also how we value ourselves. And Scorpio energy, the opposite of Taurus, can be how other people value or not value us, or how other people empower or disempower us. And so with Mercury turning direct at 26 degrees Taurus, it might bring up some of those energies of that full moon lunar eclipse. The other thing, of course, which we already mentioned, is that Taurus is a money sign. So while it retrograded back into Taurus for those few degrees, and now it's turning direct, it's going to take a few days to pick up speed before it even moves into or back into the sign of Gemini. So we're still kind of going through matters of personal resources, situations and circumstances that deal with money and finances, and again, possessions and values and how we value ourselves. So messages and information that might have been muddled or confusing can now start to gain some clarity, or messages or information, pieces of information that might have been missing or messages we were waiting on can now start to trickle in as Mercury starts to very slowly pick up speed. I think it's it's not until June 19th that Mercury is out of its shadow. And when we say that, we mean that it's going to take until June 19th for Mercury to pass the degree, which is 4 degrees Gemini, of where it was when it first went retrograde. That's when things can sort of come to conclusion or be resolved from what this Mercury retrograde meant for you. And it might have just been that you were working through your own dynamics, your own perceptions, your own belief systems, and things in your own mind. So keep that in mind too. Although it oftentimes is the communication that plays out with other people that start to go awry during Mercury retrograde. And then on Saturday, the 4th of June, the next day after Mercury turns back to direct motion, Saturn, the teacher of karmic lessons, or the great teacher, is turning to retrograde motion. So he's going to shift in the opposite direction. He's going to shift retrograde at 25 degrees of Aquarius. Now, Saturn can bring a sense of limitation or restriction or delays in whatever sign that he's in. And so what is Aquarius all about? It's an air sign that also deals with the mind and the mental realm and our intellect. Aquarius deals with groups or group activity, coming together with groups of like-minded people to help humanity in some way. It's the humanitarian. It's also a sign of future hopes or dreams or wishes, scientific technology, things to do with like inventions or coming up with new ideas, is everything that Aquarius rules. And so Saturn might have a limiting or delaying effect on working on things that surround those Aquarian energies. But Saturn is also known as the manifester. Saturn rules the third dimensional time and space, which means he helps to manifest things in this reality. The thing with that, though, is that Saturn again brings delays. So know that whenever Saturn's involved, delays are beneficial, because with the delay, you're having more time to ground the energy, materialize the energy, build a structure for the energy, or build a structure for the dream or idea before Saturn assists you in manifestation. So what does Saturn retrograde mean? So it's going retrograde. It's going to internalize the energies. When a planet turns retrograde, it sort of internalizes the energies. Sort of like when Mercury was retrograde, it internalizes our thought processes. We're more contemplative, we're more self-reflective. We go within and we start to think about things maybe a little bit more deeply than what we might normally. Saturn, when it retrogrades, it's internalizing those energies of authority. So rather than dealing necessarily with authority figures out there in the world, we're finding our own inner sense of authority. Now, it doesn't mean those authority figures go away, or those situations dealing with authorities outside of ourselves go away. It just means that Saturn turning inward is asking that you find your own kind of inner strength, inner authority, inner wisdom, and that you use that responsibly, because Saturn rules responsibility. So Saturn direct is responsibility in the outer world, or tests, karmic lessons in the outer world. Saturn retrograde is like, look at your karmic lessons and be responsible. Take responsibility for where you need to within those situations and circumstances in your life. Where can you take charge and be your own inner authority? Or if you want to use the word control, take control of your life and your own inner authority and make those shifts. Learn those karmic lessons that Saturn wants you to learn in those areas of Aquarius, having to do with your hopes, your dreams, your visions for the future, working with groups of like-minded people, coming up with new ideas, new brilliant ways of doing something, doing things outside the box. So that is what's going on astrologically for the week. So I'm going to stay on camera and we're going to talk about the messages from our angels and guides from the Animal Wise Tarot. So the first of the three cards that came out, let's turn that over and take a look here, is the Three of Ancients. This is like the Three of Wands or the Three of Fire in the traditional tarot. In this deck, it's the salamander, okay? The ancient suit, the fire suit, the wand suit is about the ancient, like the reptiles and whatnot, right? And that's why it shows a salamander here. And it says unique inspiration and assistance. Well, the number 3 numerologically is a number of joy and happiness and creative self-expression and using our words and kind of expanding into new ideas and new ways of doing things. And that it really is about expansion. It's like we expand into our creativity, we expand into the communication, we expand into the ideas. And this is why it says unique inspiration and assistance. We're having assistance from other people or from those of the spiritual realm, because that suit of fire, the suit of ancients, deals with the spiritual realm. So connect with your angels and guides, connect with your higher self, expand into your higher self, expand into all forms of creative self-expression, and watch what happens. Watch the assistance or the support that kind of comes in to assist you. And the number 3 also numerologically is about abundance, prosperity, and blessings. That's why we talk about the number 3 being about expansion. We want to expand into that prosperity. We want to expand into that abundance. We want to expand into the blessings. And here I feel like we have great opportunity. Of course, this is the first card of 3, and the first astrological connection of significance here was the new moon in Gemini, right? The realm of the mind, and coming up with those new ideas and new thoughts, and being curious about it, and being actively involved in kind of putting your ideas into motion, or networking with other people, and all forms of communication and messages here. Okay, let's take a look at the next card here. Card number 2. Okay, we've got a shift of energy here. This is Major Arcana number 9. This is the Hermit, and in this deck it's the Owl, right? We often kind of connect the Owl to the Hermit card, because owls are that kind of wise, silent teacher of spirit. It's the silent wisdom, vision, and guidance. So we're having continued guidance. It seems like it might take a shift here towards the end of the week when Mercury turns back to direct motion in Taurus. And even with Saturn turning retrograde, Saturn's the wise one, right? And it does say wisdom, right? So silent wisdom, vision, and guidance. We're going within here towards the weekend. Mercury turns direct, it's at a standstill, so it's not really moving. And it's in an earth sign. It's in a grounded earth sign and a very reserved sign of the zodiac. Taurus is pretty reserved. And Saturn is at a standstill, shifting to retrograde motion. So these two planets are kind of at a stop. That can cause, first of all, just from another level of reality, that can cause us to feel mentally tired, fatigued, or frustrated, and physically tired or lacking in vitality, or wondering, you know, what we should do next, basically. We're kind of bringing in that Saturn delay, and we're kind of in this surrender mode of trying to figure out what the best idea is and how to move forward with it. So this is why the Hermit comes up. The Hermit says, just be silent, just kind of go within, listen to your inner wisdom and guidance, your inner guide, listen to your higher soul self. Let your spiritual teacher within guide you, or let your spiritual teachers, your angels and guides, guide you. So there's a lot here about guidance. We've got unique inspiration and assistance, which to me is like spiritual guidance here with the salamander. And then we've got the owl with the silent wisdom and guidance. And kind of having that inner vision and that inner knowingness. Listen to your inner intuition. The owl, you know, to me, the Hermit feels like that inner wise one that sometimes we want to not know if we should trust, or think that, you know, we might be making up the messages that we're kind of feeling or getting because we don't really trust ourselves. But the Hermit, the owl, says to listen to that, listen to your inner intuition. And that's why silence is important, and meditation is important, and walking out in nature and just being amongst the trees or the animal kingdom is important. In the silence, the messages are going to come. Let's look at the last card here. Oh, good. We got a nice one. We've got, not that any of them are not nice necessarily, but this is the Star card. This is Major Arcana 17, the Star card. In this deck, the Animal Wise Tarot, it's the Firefly. Did you know a firefly looks like that? So the firefly says spiritual inspiration and hope. Well, this is the second time we had that word inspiration, right? The first card says unique inspiration. The last card, the Star card, says spiritual inspiration. I like the messages that we're getting here. So the Star card is about our hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future. What does the future hold? What do we envision for ourselves and our lives for the future? And how do we prepare to get there? Or what steps can we take? What ideas can we create in our minds to get to this star, to follow that North Star that we have? right? Which is our hopes, dreams, and desires. So this is the Saturn delay, right? Because the star card is about the future. It's not necessarily in the present moment. It's kind of going off into what we would term a future time, but knowing that that future time holds these blessings. The future time holds the spiritual inspiration and hopes that we desire to create and manifest in our lives. And Saturn, the great manifester, but also the great teacher, is going to assist in the manifestation of these dreams. It's just going to maybe bring in a little bit of delay while we're finding our inner authority and our inner strength and our inner truth in order to move forward towards this. Okay? That's a great message. We had a good message. Let's go ahead and see what the special message card is for each one of you, depending on your stone of choice. Let's show them really quick one more time, because I know it's a little bit different when they're not kind of sitting on camera. So we've got the malachite, we've got the amethyst cluster, and the smoky quartz. All right. So for those of you that chose the malachite, okay, so let's give this a little shuffle, asking for special message for malachite people. This one was popping up when I opened my eyes. Ooh, you've got the power. You have got the power, malachite people. It says, use your abilities to resolve the situation. You can do it. Okay, so what's the situation? Are you feeling disempowered in your job or career? Is there some sort of challenge energy with your personal resources and or finances? Do you got some difficulties or challenges or lessons to learn within a relationship of some sort? Family, friend, significant other, child even? This is saying that you've got the power to resolve the situation, to move through the situation, to change the situation, right? This is about you owning your personal power and moving forward, coming up with the new idea, coming up with the strategy or plan, having the communication that's needed. Whatever it calls for, whatever the situation calls for, you can do it. It says again, use your abilities to resolve this situation. You can do it. And this lovely little fairy, it's got all these helpers all around her flying around. She's got all these butterflies, and butterflies are indicative of new beginnings, new birth energy. She just feels like she's in a very kind of trusting kind of mode. She's trusting, she's having fun. You know, that Gemini new moon is bringing in a lightness of heart, a lightness of spirit. So if the mind energies have been a little heavy, try to let that Gemini moon shift your perspective a little bit. Get in touch with your inner child and be a little bit more on the lighthearted, connecting with your inner innocence kind of side, and trusting and having faith that you've got the help, the spiritual help, or even maybe help with other people that are going to come in and assist you and using your power, taking your power, resolving the situation, and moving forward. All right, I'm going to put that back in the deck. All right, so for those of you that chose the amethyst cluster people, special message. Amethyst cluster. Okay, this one's calling my attention in here. Ooh, all right, you guys. There's something going on in a partnership, right? It says marriage, and it says the fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss. Wow. Some of you may be getting that, what do I want to say? Calling as far as someone asking for your hand in marriage. This might be about meeting a new soulmate. That's going to be about a committed, long-term, lasting relationship, committed, grounded relationship. This might be a message regarding some sort of either marriage partnership or committed, connection with another romantic relationship. Maybe you've had some challenges as of late, and this could just be about a renewed connection, a deepening of your connection, a renewed connection, healing of challenges. And maybe those challenges were, through the whole eclipse season that we just had in the Mercury retrograde that's just ending, that certainly shook things up a little bit. So this could be obviously a message that brings in a new partner, heals a current partnership, or has you thinking about the idea of marriage and partnership and what it is you really want and desire if you're really ready. So whatever the situation and whether or not you're in a partnership, this is definitely bringing in the idea of balance and mutual support, mutual love, and mutual empowerment within a relationship matter. Okay, I like that. It looks beautiful. We got the man and the woman fairy, and we've got a unicorn and fairies and flowers and nature and all this wonderful stuff going on here. So the new moon in Gemini might be calling for you to do some sort of a vision board, right? The vision board can be the qualities that you desire in a relationship or in a partner to kind of bring in and attract that new relationship. Or if you're in a current relationship and this is about healing that, then I would suggest just sitting down and having some communication, especially after Mercury goes back to direct motion, having the clear, open, honest communication that will help to resolve certain situations. Okay, let's look at the special message for the smoky quartz people. Smoky quartz, special message for smoky quartz. You know what? There's too many there. I was kind of like, there's a bunch sticking up, but there's like a bunch. So let's just kind of, I always think that if I'm unsure and that was supposed to be one of those cards, that it'll come back around and it'll show itself, whatever one is meant to be. Whatever's meant to be. Smoky quartz, special message. Okay, this one definitely is calling my attention. And it says, whom do you need to forgive? Okay, well, Mercury is turning back to direct motion. We need to clear up misunderstandings with communication matters. Saturn is turning retrograde. There might be some karmic lessons that are coming up and coming to our attention here. It says, as you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find your wishes will come true. So this has a feeling of being, longer in the past than just a current situation. There might be a current situation where we need to forgive and we need to release anger or resentment, but I feel like this goes back more deeply. And if it's within a relationship, it goes back longer than just the current situation. But it might also be going all the way back to childhood, into your family dynamics. It might also be going back to other lifetimes that you've had with the current people that are coming up that you need to forgive, that you need to let go of the anger and resentment about. So if there's not something currently happening for you where this makes sense, I feel like with Mercury at a standstill, Mercury, ruler of the mind, kind of not moving, Saturn, the ruler of responsibility and inner authority, at a standstill, I feel like it's a good time to just do some contemplation. If your life is not seeming to move forward in the way that you desire, if there seems to be challenges and obstacles that come up, and maybe similar ones again and again, it's a time to really contemplate and think, okay, who do I need to forgive in my past? Or what do I need to let go in my past? What old situations where I'm harboring some sort of anger or frustration? Or where do I have karmic lessons with other people? And maybe it's just within myself. Am I beating up on myself? Am I holding anger towards myself because of certain choices and decisions I made in the past? Saturn rules the past. And so whether it's something within yourself or whether it's something with other people, it's time to let it go. It's time to forgive yourself. It's time to forgive those other people. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily trust them or talk to them or communicate with them or whatever. But it's time to try to forgive and let go of that, so you don't have to hold on to those lower vibrational energies anymore. This is going to help to free up your energies so that your hopes, dreams, and wishes, going back to the star card here, we want your hopes, dreams, and wishes to come to fruition, to come true for you, right? And everybody's hopes, dreams, and wishes can come to fruition and to manifestation. They can come true because the universe wants you to be happy, right? Your inner self, your higher soul self, and knows the direction in order to create that happiness, to bring in that happiness, to connect with that happiness. But sometimes we need to let go of old wounds and old lessons, and we need to forgive and heal and release and let go. And this has the feeling of just that. So we've got a beautiful kind of angel here. It almost looks like two angels coming together, right? Because we've got this beautiful kind of golden white light here in the center, but we've got a set of angel wings, but it looks like two heads, two angels, or one angel and one person. So whatever that might be. Call in your angels and guides. Call in Archangel Raphael to help heal your heart of old emotional heart chakra wounds. And ask Archangel Michael to come in and pull cords between you and lower vibrational emotions, feelings, thought forms, and belief systems. And go through forgiveness. If you need to write out a list, that's fine too. But write out, who do I need to forgive? And then maybe wait, 2 weeks for that full moon and burn your list and release that list. Maybe between the new moon on Monday the 30th up until the full moon is when you want to think about what it is you want to create, while you're also kind of thinking and contemplating what or who you need to forgive. And then maybe do some sort of a ceremony where you burn your list on the full moon and let it go. So I hope you've all liked this weekly Empowered Moments video. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. I'm glad that many of you have commented how you like the new intro and outro to the video. I'm really happy that you all like the change or the upgrade here to the weekly video. And a lot of you have said you like the Empowered Moments section as well. It helps to kind of ground you for the week. So I'm appreciating your comments. Keep them coming. I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. Thank you for all of you who support me on Facebook, have gotten readings through my website, or checked out my website for those wonderful pendants and other goodies. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings. Namaste, everyone.